This beautiful car was where it all started for Polestar. That's if you're happy to overlook the high-performance Volvo road cars and touring cars the company was responsible for, of course. It's the Polestar 1, the first model from the brand, and isn't it glorious? Don't reach for your crypto wallet just yet. The Polestar 1 is no longer in production. All are left on drive, and all 1,500 examples made are already spoken for. We've borrowed one to say farewell, talk about how Polestar has already evolved, and look at the future models. All of those will be electric, but this is a plug-in hybrid. Within the infotainment system, you can of course choose to charge up the battery while you're driving along. It's not free energy, obviously it takes more fuel, but that is very useful if you want to have electric charge for later on. You can't deny the Volvo underpinnings inside here. There are all Volvo switchgear. The infotainment, as I mentioned, is straight out of a Volvo of the time. However, there are enough unique details to make the Polestar 1 feel special, starting with these lovely carbon fibre inlays here. We've also got Swedish gold seat belts, which is something that Polestar has continued into all of its models in the future. This car also has these lovely sports seats, and yeah, it has rear seats, but they're not so big. It's not exactly a family car. One of the last things we're pointing out is this lovely big glass roof, and at night the Polestar logo is projected up onto it. Again, that's something that the company has brought forward to its newer cars. Under the bonnet is a 2-litre petrol engine. It's a Volvo sourced item, unsurprisingly. It uses a supercharger and a turbocharger, so it's quite a powerful unit. Doesn't sound amazing, but I think you'd forgive it for its performance. It is bolted to an electric motor at the back of it, and that is in between the engine and an 8-speed automatic gearbox. All that little lot drives the front wheels. That's all they're responsible for. There's a lot more to this, however. At the back of the Polestar 1, there are 2 powerful electric motors, one for each wheel, and that allows torque vectoring. When all of that is working together in the highest performance mode, there's up to 609 horsepower available and up to 1,000 newton meters of torque. Those are astounding figures by any measure. Polestar quotes a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time of 4.2 seconds, but actually, because of all the torque from the electric side of things, it's the roll-on acceleration that is impressive. So when you're already at a decent speed and you put your foot down, the car just gathers pace like almost like nothing else. I guess like the latest very high performing electric cars. Despite the pretty outstanding performance figures and the glorious looks of this car, it's not actually an out-and-out sports car. It's more of a GT, and the way it flows down the road emphasizes that. This car weighs about 2.3 tons, and that's despite the fact that the carbon fibre reinforced plastic body panels reduce it by over 200 kilograms, so it's not a lightweight car. To be fair, it does disguise its weight on the road, so it flows along naturally, it flows along well, and it drives well too. It's all influenced by the driving modes, of course. It starts off in hybrid mode, where it chops and changes and chooses whether it's using petrol power, whether it's using electric power, or a combination of the two. You can choose a pure electric mode, and that was rear drive only, so you have a rear-wheel drive electric GT car. If conditions are bad, you want a bit more traction, you can actually choose it to be in all-wheel drive mode all the time as well. That's a separate setting in here. So put it into power mode now. And that is fast. I don't care how old this car is, a few years old now, which isn't ancient, and sure, performance is moving on all the time, but wow, it really shifts when you put it into its fastest setting, its most powerful setting. Also sounds pretty good in that setting. When you're ambling around, perhaps the 2-litre engine doesn't sound amazing, but in that setting, it is awesome. The thing that influences how this car drives most is the setting of the dampers. Unlike a lot of cars that are electronically controlled in that way, the Polestar 1 features really sophisticated and very expensive Öhlins dampers that are manually adjusted. In fact, the owner can change them by 20 different levels. It seems a bit over the top to me, and I suspect most owners will try them out, choose one they like, and leave it at that. This particular car is on a middle level, and it offers a good balance. It's really good body control, and yet it's actually quite comfortable. So you could imagine driving for a very long time in this car. By the way, There's not much boot space, so I wouldn't go very far in terms of packing a big bag. On the flip side of the coin, Polestar 1 can drive up to 125 kilometers in purely electric mode. Although the Polestar 2, which followed up this car, also uses Volvo bits and pieces, Polestar is moving away from that gradually, and they'll be using fewer and fewer of those components in the future. The Polestar 2 is going to be followed up by the Polestar 3, which we've already seen. It's a very high performance SUV and very high in technology too. Next up is the Polestar 4. That's a more affordable SUV, around the same size and positioning as something like the Porsche Macan. It'll be fully electric, of course. Perhaps the most significant model we know about is the Polestar 5. We've already seen it in prototype form. It's a high-performance saloon and is set to top the lineup. Next up is the Polestar 6. That takes the form of an open-top roadster. And if you like, it's a spiritual successor to the Polestar 1 we're in here. We cannot wait to get our hands on that one. We hope you liked our look at where Polestar has come from and where it's going. If you want to read more about Polestar, there's lots more on our website. It's CompleteCar.ie, and it's a great resource for finding your next new car.